Like as soon as I laid eyes on it, I seen literally just the corner front of it, and I'm like, I think. So the other day I posted a poll: is love a feeling or a choice? And most people thought it was a feeling. That's what we're gonna get to the bottom of today. Is love a feeling or a choice? So 2 summers ago, not this last summer, but the one before that, I decided that I wanted to start driving. One day I was going to an event and I was early. Because I had extra time, I thought, you know what, let me browse around this street to see what kind of cars are here, because there are a lot of dealers on that street, car dealers that is. So I'm walking down the street, I go to the first lot and I'm just kind of looking around to see if there's anything that catches my attention, because at this point I know I'm gonna buy an Acura. For some reason I just know I'm buying that car. So I went to the first lot, I didn't see any Acuras, so I went to a second lot, and then the guy was there and we actually ended up talking, and he was telling me that he only sold Chevrolets or whatever kind of car that was. And I wasn't interested. I asked him, do you have any Acuras? And he's like, no, he actually did not like that brand of Acuras at all. He was talking all kind of smack about it. But either way, we had a good conversation, and then I left. And at that point, I really had to go to the washroom. So I really had to go to the washroom. I'm like, you know what, let me put this car search on hold. And I looked across the street, there was a restaurant there, right? So I'm like, okay, I can probably use that restaurant's toilet. I cross the street, and then I'm about to go in the restaurant. I look to the right, there's a tiny small lot that fits maybe 8 cars maximum. And then I look in the back, and then there's silver car, right? And then like as soon as I laid eyes on it, I seen literally just the corner front of it, and I'm like, I think that's my car. Like it just gave me a feeling, right? And then I went closer to see what kind of brand it was, and sure enough, it was an Acura. I'm like, oh my God, that is my car. That is my car. That's my car. I know it. In that moment, like I felt excitement. There was a feeling. I fell in love with the car. I wanted it. I thought it was beautiful. And that was the first step. And so right away, I called the person because it looked like it was closed. I tried to knock on the door. Nobody answered. So I called the number of the place. And the first thing the guy lets me know is like, oh, this is a manual car. And I'm like, oh, no problem. Mind you, I don't know how to drive manual. It was not in my plans to get a manual. I've never driven manual. But I really love this car. So I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I'll do what I have to do, right? So naturally, I move forward to acquiring that car. And once I first got the car, I had to spend the first 2 weeks learning how to drive it. So I spent an hour each day trying to figure out how to drive this car. Luckily, I had a great friend who taught me. Throughout the years of having this car, I had to learn about oil changes. I had to learn about replacing old parts. I had to learn about regular maintenance that a car requires, right? The first step I had to do was get the car. Like I fell in love with the car, which is why I wanted it, right? So that feeling is the first step. And then the second thing, once I had it, now it required regular choices to take care of it, regular maintenance. I had to maintain the thing that I love. Otherwise, it wouldn't be driving well. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have it for a very long time, right? So the point of the story is to say that love is both a feeling and a choice. The feeling is what attracts you. The feeling is what grabs your attention to say, hey, look at me. This is what you've been looking for. But then to maintain that love requires a choice, such as in relationships, right? Once you have the person that you're looking for, once you have a friendship even, right? To maintain that friendship requires communication, requires listening, requires asking, are you okay from time to time? And often it requires regular conversation, regular throwing things out that are old, regular changing old perspectives and adding new perspectives to the mix, because it needs to be maintained, right? It's not this thing that you just love one time and then that one time love sustains it. It just doesn't work that way. I have a beautiful sentence that I want to read out of what love is. So it goes like this. So love is the feeling of a fulfilled desire and the choice to maintain the fulfilled desire. So love is initially the feeling of a fulfilled desire. So you see something, you love it, like it lets you know my desire is fulfilled through this, right? And there's a second part to love, is the maintenance part, the choice that you have to make over and over again to maintain that fulfilled desire. So it is both. And if you don't do both, then I guess you'll have to learn the hard way, right? If there's any other topics you want me to talk about, anything at all, just let me know. You can always send me a personal message, write it below. So leave me a comment and let me know, does that change your opinion about love a bit, or did you kind of already know that from just your personal experience? I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I'll catch you guys next week.